Hello again, Grammar 2 folks. This is your very last week of videos and your very last packet of homework. Can you believe it? This is it. When you are all done with this and have it sent in, you are done. So you have done a great job this year and you have made a nice book, a nice grammar textbook, and hopefully we'll be able to figure out a way to get it to you. I'm still working on it. But before all that, let's go ahead and get started. And what we're doing today, we're just going to talk about something called idioms. You ever heard of idioms? I'm sure you have. I'm sure you use them. And even if you don't know what the name of them are, an idiom is a. Oops, and I didn't bring my book in. Okay, that's okay. Sorry. An idiom is an expression that uses words that don't mean anything about what the words actually are. And if, for instance, we have certain idioms in English, they would make absolutely no sense to someone who is trying to learn English and doesn't know English, because the words don't mean what they actually say. So an example would be, he opened a can of worms when he talked about that subject. So did he really open a can of worms? No, you don't open a can of worms. You dig in the ground for worms, don't you? What all that means is he got himself into a lot of trouble by bringing up that subject. He opened a can of worms. Okay, so that's an example of an idiom. We are going to do a page about different idioms, and we'll talk about each one as we do it. But can you understand why someone who doesn't know English wouldn't understand what you're talking about when you say he opened a can of worms? Because it doesn't mean anything like what you're really talking about. Okay, so you have a page that you're going to make. It looks like this. All right, so you're going to cut it up so that you can put it on your in your composition book. But actually, let's go ahead and write on it first, and then it'll be easier to glue it on. You also have, I believe, I have a page. I mean, I don't have my book here with me, but I do have this page. And you're not going to put this part up. You don't need to put that part up there because it's just repetitive. Okay, so you just need to put this page on. All right, so here we go. Get your pencil ready, and let's first of all write on these lines. All right, and what this is saying is that it's kind of comparing the difference between literal language and non-literal language. What on earth does that mean? Well, literal language is words that mean exactly what they say. He went to the store means he went to the store. Okay, it means exactly what it says. All right, and so that's what I wrote here. And you can write it in your own words or you can copy mine. I believe you have a copy of this in your packet. Okay? It's a phrase that means exactly what it says. Then we have non-literal language. That's the second part. And since we've been talking about prefixes, non is a prefix and it means not. There's a lot of prefixes that mean not, and that is one of them. And it's just the opposite of this. It's a phrase that does not mean what it says. So you can just write that on this line right here. And that's what an idiom is. An idiom is a phrase that does not mean what it says. And so, and that is often called a figure of speech. So that's what I put on this third line. A figure of speech. When you give someone a figure of speech, it's usually an idiom. It doesn't mean what it says. Okay, so here's some good examples of some idioms. And yours does not have the, I don't think, does it have the writing on it? Oh, it does have the writing on it. Okay, so basically all you have to do is glue this page in. All right, so let's look at these sometime, though. We've already talked about can of worms. See this one right here? Let the cat out of the bag. Is someone letting the cat out of the bag? No, you don't usually put cats in bags, do you? All that means is you told the secret. Maybe you weren't supposed to, maybe it was okay. But if there's a secret going on and you told it to somebody, you let the cat out of the bag. Then we have 2 heads are better than 1. Does that mean that a person that has 2 heads is better than a person who has 1 head? I don't think so. There aren't too many people I know that have 2 heads. All right? That just means 2 people thinking together will come up with better ideas than just 1 person. It can be more than 1 person. It can be more than 2 people. It can be 3, 4, 5, 6 people. It all means 2 heads are better than 1. They can come up with a better solution for the problem than if it was just 1 person. Then we have she's feeling blue. What does that mean? Have you ever felt blue? Have you turned blue? If you've turned blue, that's not a bad thing. That's not a good thing. You need to be in the hospital. All right, no. When you're feeling blue, that means you're just kind of sad. You're just, you're a little bit depressed. That's what feeling blue is. All right, then when you tell someone, we have down here this little girl, someone tells her to break a leg. Why would someone tell another person to break a leg? Well, they wouldn't. But it's an expression. It's an idiom, a figure of speech, and it's what you say to somebody when they're about to go on stage to do some kind of a performance. You say, break a leg, and that means good luck. It says, do a great job. So it means pretty much the opposite of what it says, doesn't it? All right, so that is what an idiom is. So all you're going to do now is you're going to cut out your page without this part up here and put it on your page for your composition book. And this is your very last page of your grammar. Can you believe it? You are done. Good job. All right, so the only other thing we're going to do is your spelling. Your spelling has words that are called multisyllabic words. That is another word that has a prefix, multi. Multi means many. So what does multisyllabic words mean? It means a word with many syllables. So that tells you what kinds of words you're having in your list this time. So you're not going to highlight any of them because there's really nothing to highlight. They're all just multisyllabic words. All right, so let's go ahead and read through them. Multiply, imagination, favorite, computer, citizenship, invisible, undercover, enjoyment, discussion, America, unusual, example, melody, temperature, understanding, experiment, explanation, oxygen, favoritism, intelligent. All right, those are your spelling words for this week. And there is an airplane going. We'll wait just a second till it's done. There is not anything new in your spelling this week. The main thing that sometimes you have trouble with is on this page, it has you dividing words into syllables, and it even gives you the number of syllables. All right. If you aren't sure, look it up in a dictionary. Okay, don't just guess. Many times a syllable is divided between consonants unless it is a digraph or a consonant blend like th. You don't divide those unless we have open syllables, and we have had a lesson on open syllables. And remember, an open syllable is a syllable that ends with a long vowel sound. So for instance, let's look at the word favorite. Favorite. So you know that the first syllable, it has a long A. So that would be an open syllable. So the first syllable is F-A. All right. Short syllables, no. Short syllables usually have a consonant and then a consonant. Open syllables have long vowels. Okay, that's one of the things I need to make sure you understand, because I think I've never really, we talked about it a little bit in a spelling lesson, but we haven't spent much time on it, okay? Please look these up. If you don't know them, don't guess, like I said, okay? All right, that is it. You are done. When you are done with this packet and have it sent in, you are finished with your schoolwork for the year, at least for my class. So I hope you have a great summer, and maybe I'll see you next year. All right, we'll talk to you later then. Bye-bye.